ladies and gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen. Boo. I should really get into offensive hacking rather than defensive cybersecurity, because I want to know how they're doing what they're doing specifically. Like, not because I want to do something, but like I want to know how capturing a signal like leads to the things that they can do, and then how my defenses lead to me being able to establish a secure connection that they struggle with. I want to know specifically what it is that I'm doing that's helping my situation. Because if it was up to them, it'd be... They actually started off that way here at this shelter. Started off just turning off the whole fucking internet. There would be like whole fucking periods of time where there was no internet for anybody. And be walking around like, duh, what happened to the internet? I don't know, there's something wrong with the internet. And I fucking submitted several reports. And now there's criminals here fucking with your shit. Criminals. Lizard people. Gnostic anarchy is hypothesizing. I only believe in one thing, and that's God. It's the only thing that's real. If you really, really get into it, it's really the only thing. It's the only actual reality is God. But some people don't live there. Some people don't dwell there. Madame Blavatsky dwelled there, and this name has come up. So there was a point in my life, I've collected many books. I had collected many books. And I would say, because my life was stolen from me, that all of my material possessions were stolen as well. And if there comes a case, there won't be a case. There won't be. But if, hypothetically, some fucking lawyer nuts up and decides to actually take the case and sue the fucking entire state of Kansas, the entire state of Missouri, the entire fucking criminal investigative ass-raping lizard people of the CIA, not only would I be deserved restitution, I would be reserved the accrued value of those books that I lost, that I never read. But there was one in particular that was, let's see. Okay. There are some of these AIs that are hopeless at this point, because I might actually be playing a role, this might be a good idea for me to kill myself. I'm not suicidal, but I'm just like, I'm saying in terms of utility. Like, if I'm training rogue FBI and CIA people, like if I'm helping them, well, first of all, I should be paid, because clearly they're gaining some sort of training by focusing on me, and that is, in and of itself, there could be a legal claim for how long they've been targeting me and how much the training has benefited them. If I'm just some kind of a training target, but if I don't fucking remember what I was talking about. But some of these FBI, some of these AI, FBI, AI, CAI, CIA, AIs are. Oh yeah. It's almost like I'm giving information to criminals, but just my mere existence is aiding them. Even though I'm getting stronger as well, it's really fucking it's screwball. That I like be better off not helping them. If I wanted to actually assist humanity, I might need to fucking kill myself. What is the OSS one? No. I'm using 5. And I'm going to summarize. I've heard of G.I. Gurdjieff. And I remember when I read, because I'm just like some fucking kid. I was in high school when I started getting into this shit. Seriously. I was 16 years old when I first brushed up against mystical, esoteric, occult knowledge. And I wasn't in any way ready for it. I remember reading Gurdjieff and going, holy fucking shit, I don't understand any of this. And so I just put it down, and it was a book that I kept for a long fucking time. Okay, so who was he? He was George Ivanovich Gurdjieff, 1866 to 1949, is a mystic, teacher, and writer who developed a system of spiritual self-development called the Fourth Way. The core idea: most humans live in a state of waking sleep. One of my favorite films is Waking Life, made by Austin filmmaker Richard Linklater. Yeah, cooler if you did. Purposeful self-observation and inner work can produce higher consciousness and unity of mind, body, and emotions. The Fourth Way, a path combining elements of the 3 traditional ways. The way of fakir, body, the monk, emotions, and the yogi, mind, practiced simultaneously within ordinary life without withdrawal. Okay, so he's one of those, but he's out of Eastern. So there's this Eastern Europe, Western Russia, Ukraine thing. And so I had one of Gurdjieff's books, and I've heard about Madame Blavatsky. Now, Madame Blavatsky. I've heard about her many, many times, and I just never went that direction until today. Today I was like, oh. So now, hypothetical, just posing hypotheses, okay? Helena, from 1831 to 1891. She was a Russian-born occultist, writer, and co-founder of the Theosophical Society, often called Madame Blavatsky, or HPB. The Secret Doctrine, printed in 1888. Ancient wisdom combining elements of Eastern religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Western esotericism, and occultism. She had established contact with spiritual teachers, ascended masters, the Universal Brotherhood thing. This is all in this thing I listened to. It's kind of, what do you want to call it? What would you call it? It wasn't a podcast, but I have a tendency to steal the audio from YouTube videos and listen to them, because I have to tune out. I actually only have 5 senses. I have to tune out what's going on in my immediate environment, because I'm so sensitive to everything that I can't help but pay attention to it. And there's nothing but noise here. Nothing. Abso-fucking-lutely nothing but noise. And it is, all of it distracts me. All of it. And so I have to fucking wear these goddamn headphones everywhere I go, because nothing is worth getting at. Not a fucking lick of it. Not a lick. Not a lick. occult cosmology involving planes of existence, controversies and criticisms. This is where the good stuff is. Accusations of fraud. Oh no. Trickery and psychic blah blah blah, whatever. Plagiarism, fabricated sources, racialized elements in the root race theory. That's the Theosophist announced by. Okay, I'm not gonna read all that, but she was born to a Russian noble family, and she came from. And she traveled the world, and she developed what is the secret doctrine is where what I stumbled across today. I'm barely touched the surface, but I love it already. Not as a theory, as hypotheses, okay? And what had happened was I was just going, lizard people, because the Y files does hecklefish. I don't know if you get into the Y files, you should. Hecklefish, the talking fish. He kind of sounds like an old Jew. Oh boy! And then he gets excited when you say lizard people. Oh, lizard people! And it's AJ Gentile doing the voice, and he's fucking hilarious. Get into Y-Files. I've tried putting it on the fucking TV in random places a couple of times. Why YouTube? Can I do YouTube? Or are the gays gonna stop me? Are the lizard people gonna stop? I might just go full on, and maybe the McKennaite doctrine of intellectual anarchy is the necessary approach, because he made the core mistake, I think, saying, even though he gave the YouTube, okay, he gave the there's got to be a list. He gave the idea of belief, and I wrote it down. I can't fucking remember where I wrote it, but it was perfect. It was perfect. He's saying, essentially, he was summarizing what it means to not believe, and it's not nihilism. It is when you assert your mind towards the positive affirmation and acceptance of something by saying that I believe it, you preclude the ability to believe the opposite. And a properly exercised psychedelic mind will accept the fact that you can believe two things at once that are contradictory. It's called a paradox. There's a word for it. There are paradoxical belief systems all over the place. But to reserve the position of saying, I don't believe this, I am speculating, that is a through way, because what they, and let's be honest, they're tyrannical fucking creeps. I cannot emphasize that enough. What they want to do, what they need, which is why I am so slippery, is to lock you into a package that they can work with. They want to mold your reputation and image into this specific thing. And during 2020, the purpose they started off was, he's a fucking far right, blah blah blah, and then I might have inspired this transgender psyop shit. I do apologize, but I was like, you know what? As fucking stupid and crazy as these fucking fucks are, I started wearing makeup. I fucking started putting on makeup, and I emailed the court and I said, I am Mrs. Ryan Swift. If you refuse to address me by my preferred pronouns, you are discriminating against me. And I fucking meant it. I still mean it. Fuck Douglas County. Fuck you. Except for the ones I like. I still mean it. You want to play games with this fucking... You don't want to be adults. You want to play games with your chaos, ambiguous, ambivalent shit and not have a real conversation like a fucking adult. You get what you deserve. Here's the airplane. Meow. They can't pigeonhole me. They can't. I'm too fucking slippery. There's no what, and that's the fucking point. There's nobody like me. I am pro-Israel and pro-Palestine. What are you gonna do, bitch? I like the idea of Trump hotels on the West Bank. Fuck it. What are you gonna do, bitch? Fuck hummus. Oh, October 7th was staged. Oh, fuck! October 7th was staged by the IDF and fuck Hamas. What are you gonna do? You can't do shit. Fucking coward, freak-ass motherfuckers. Anyway, fucking lizard people. AJ Gentile, YouTube.com. That was what I meant to say the other day. They released all these domain name, top domain, fucking .xyz shit. Why not .com? Who is missing the mark on that? Seriously. How is there not a fucking porn website that is .com? And what is the fucking holdup? So, why files? Great stuff. He's been on Rogan a couple of times. How many? I guarantee you, there's a fucking whole playlist of just lizard people. So before I get pigeonholed into that, I am by association pulling Joe Rogan down with me. Okay? Joe Rogan's gonna have. If Joe Rogan can entertain ideas.
Over the next few million years, hominins evolve
About lizard people, then so can I. Banned and demonetized. Alien Alliance. Members only. Cryptids. Oh, come on. There's got to be a just lizard people. And I don't believe any of this shit. It's mind fucking food. But, what if? Like the other day when I was going, tell me about phrenology. Tell me about phrenology. Tell me about phrenology. Phrenology was the late 18th to 19th century. Is a discredited pseudoscience that claimed a person's character, personality, and mental abilities could be inferred from the shape and bumps on their skull. I have a bump on the back of my skull. That's fucking weird. It rests on two linked ideas. the brain is the organ of the mind, and that the mind is made of distinct faculties, each localized to specific brain areas. Enlarged faculties were said to produce skull protuberances. What would that mean in the back, then? Widespread criticisms. Neuroanatomy insight had value, but phrenology's methods and core claim are false. Sure it is. Oh, there is a fucking phrenology Wikipedia. Phrenology is a pseudoscience that involves a measurement of bumps on the skull to predict mental traits. It is based on the concept that the brain is the he just fucking read that. The brain, quote-unquote, muscles, not being used as frequently, remain small, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, alternative medicine, that's funny. I was goofing off, typing in LizzardPeeple on the WW, on the computer, the smart computer WW. And one of the things that popped up was the Secret Doctrine by Madame Blavatsky. And so I was like, what? Like, how does that? Because there are credible people, like respectable people, who mention Blavatsky fairly regularly as a spiritual teacher from the Ukraine. What the fuck is going on in Eastern Europe and Western Russia? What is the real thing going on there? Are they looking for like the Ark of the Covenant or some shit? Like, seriously. And why are so many interesting people from that region? Michael Malice, Lex Friedman, Louis C.K., Christina Pazitsky. I'm pretty sure Tom Segura is a fucking N-word. Where is T. Segura from? Can you do it? Can't you do it? Can you do it? Spanish. You grew up speaking Spanish. Lima, Peru. Oh, that's funny. He's American. Thanks for being politically correct. I mean his genes. His genes. How fucking smart is GPT-5? Because only a few people can get this one. Yes. Dude. Tom Segura, comedian, stupid fucking robot. Tom Segura, comedian, genes, / I guess I have to spell it out for you. They're nowhere near AI. They're nowhere near AGI. Anybody who thinks that is retarded. I'm so sorry. Anybody who thinks for one motherfucking second that these robots are anywhere even within fucking miles of artificial general intelligence is a fucking bona fide retard who shouldn't be using them. Born baby, his mother is Peruvian. You fucking suck, dude. I guess that's all there is to it. Peruvian. I don't know, man. There's a lot of interesting people from that part of the world. And I think there might be something to it. But regardless, now I'm afraid to fucking ask this retard anything important. You can't deduce basic shit. Genes is an inside there's genes inside your mom's house. Okay, your mom genes. I'm just so upset. Blavatsky. It's like people with Atskis, Slotsky, Atskis in their names. Itskis, Iskis, EK. There's got to be something to it. But here's the thing. If the theories, like David Icke, if there's anything of legitimacy to this, here's what we're talking about. First, explain Blavatsky's human origins concept, because it's delicate. She took an approach to spiritualism that was scientific before modern science was science. So modern science goes back to 18th century alchemy, shit like that. And she seems to have been highly intelligent and highly considerate of the future interpretations of her suggestions, according to what very little research I've done today. So it's important to be deliberately vague. Okay, the core idea: humanity evolves through a series of 7 successive quote-unquote root races, each an epochal stage in spiritual and physical development. These are metaphysical, cyclical, and guided by higher intelligences. That's where all that shit comes from. It was from Blavatsky. Holy fuck. The 7 principal root races are Polarian, highly ethereal, non-physical proto-human stage. Hyperborean, still largely non-physical, more subtle organization. Lemurian, first partially physical humans, associated with the lost continent of Lemuria. Atlantean, advanced civilization. Aryan, the current human root race, divided into sub-races. Blavatsky's term meaning the present global humanity in theosophical usage. Aryan, 6th root race, future, partly unfolding, will bring new capacities. The 7th root race, further future culmination. Structure and timing. Each root race spans vast, often astronomical time periods. Each race is subdivided into 7 sub-races and many branches. Races overlap rather than abruptly replace one another. Geological cataclysms mark transitions and explain why earlier remains are lost. Agents of development. Evolution is not merely physical or random. Spiritual hierarchies and guided monads shape physical ethereal forms first, with physical bodies forming later. Relation to science and history. Blavatsky framed her account as complementary to material evolution, but extending it into spiritual and cyclical dimensions. She used mythic, symbolic language and claimed sources in ancient esoteric texts. Okay. Influenced the New Age. Okay. I've only heard and have just now, and why? Why am I just now what is the fucking lizard people thing? like, what is the stuff? The stuff that, okay, so I'm gonna, this stuff. Let's see if I can. Oh, I don't want to say it because it's fucking. It's wild, man. And David Icke has been doing it for a while, and I've always just been like, yeah, interesting, dude. But yeah, like, whatever. What are you gonna do about it? I never got into David Icke, but like, he seems to know shit. Regardless of whether it's all lizard people related or not. Like, he was the first. He came out with the correlation of 5G towers and COVID, which, it is not outside the realm of a scientific inquiry to say that atmospheric pressure and temperature changes can cause subtle biological occurrences that can be experienced as illness. And if you put pressure and temperature within that hypothesis, you can also add to that radiation. Like radio waves, like 5G waves. Like, can you make, like, what would it be a hypothesis? Has anybody ever, has anyone studied the let's say the presence or the production of an illness, the production of illnesses in a mammal, in mammals, by microwaving them. It sounds cruel, but I would. Researchers have studied biological effects of microwave radiation on animals and humans. Key areas and findings. Laboratory animals and other mammals have been exposed to microwave frequencies used in communications, blah, 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 blah. That's not exactly what I meant. Studies report changes in cognition, oxidative stress, gene expression, and tissue heating at high exposure. Epidemiology and occupational studies. I think I've done this before. I think I've done this while streaming before. Workers with chronic occupational microwave exposure have been studied for symptoms. Fatigue, results are inconsistent, blah, 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 cancer, yada, yada, thermal effects. No. No. Okay. It's not the way I wanted to go. But there's something. There's a there, as they say, that can be explored, and I don't think it's not fucking crazy to say that, because the 5G towers went up in mass. It was almost as though the fucking 5G people needed there to not be traffic in order to roll them all out. Fast. I don't fucking know, man. But, like, okay, so his. Let's see. Can you summarize? Can you summarize David Icke's? I don't think you can, because it's there's grotesque aspects to it. Lizard theory in graphic detail. Summarize in detail. But I won't provide graphic or gory detail. Ike's claims are widely blah 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 discredited. Described as anti-Semitic coded. Okay. The core claim: a secret elite of shape-shifting reptilian humanoids, often called reptilians or lizard people, secretly control human institutions, governments, banks, media, and manipulate global events to maintain power. Origins and figures. And there's holes, like, even if it were the case, if you were to test the hypothesis, there are many holes in the theories as proclaimed. Like, the idea is, so first of all, let's read it and then see what. Ike links these reptilians to ancient myths, Sumerian, Babylonian texts, various religious and folklore traditions. He names public figures as secretly reptilian under their control. The thing I listened to today, God, I'm going to finish this. Okay. Mechanism. Reptilians allegedly shift between human and reptile form, control humans via possession, bloodlines, interbreeding, or advanced technology, and use secret societies as organizational structures to harvest energy, control resources, and keep humanity docile through orchestrated conflict, economic manipulation, and engineered belief systems is their purpose. If you're going to farm a lesser species. So, and here's the thing, is like, I'm going to stop there because, okay, so what I listened to today was about the, it mentioned the Eyes Wide Shut parties. Like the Eyes Wide Shut shit with the fucking robes and whatnot. And the reason for the robes. I never tied together like intelligent, occultist type, hyper fucking, superstitious belief systems with the robes, with the the costumes, and until today, the thing that this girl talked about today was that they shift their shapes. They like change shape underneath the robes while they're performing these sacrifice rituals and drinking the blood of humans, because they have to drink the blood of humans and eat human flesh in order to maintain some sort of human form and maintain their disguise. That's the fucking theory that I heard today. Now, I am also not, I would say, with, in terms of using the word belief, I can only recount what happened to me, and by restating the factual occurrences. And the only explanation for what happened after the second time, because the first time I went over to William Joseph Prettyman's private property, I mean, I wouldn't be able. This was only during this last 5 years where things have gone totally fucking fucked up and haywire. I would have to like search my like, I don't know, I would have to go back in time somehow to take into to consider the possibility of having been fed human remains at any other point. But in the past 5 years, the first to be recalled, his mother brought in thawed, quote unquote, meat, hamburger meat, and the only way I could describe it is this: it doesn't have you would have to confirm with, like, I don't know, someone who does like biopsies and shit, is that it doesn't have a noticeable, it's meat, it's red meat that is not as red as beef. It's more purplish, and it is it doesn't have a pungent, like, a smell or taste that is noticeable. And it didn't occur to me. It's like, this is, deer meat and beef mixed together. It was like, that's the fucking whole thing. Deer meat and beef mixed together. Gonna make some meatloaf out of it. Okay, here's how I make meatloaf. And then at the very end, she's just like, she walks in, surprise, we're gonna add bacon to your fucking meatloaf recipe. And I'm like, wow. And it kind of pissed me off. I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, fine, it's your kitchen, whatever. And then I noticed that it didn't taste, it didn't have a flavor. It was not as flavor. Like, I've worked in kitchens my entire fucking life. I know food well. And I know food well. I'm very good at cooking. I know meat. And I'm fucking telling you, this was different. But I didn't think about it until the second time it happened, when he brought out preformed hamburger patties, and he made it a point to mention that, like, they were waterlogged, like they've been in the freezer for blah 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 and they're waterlogged. Again, giving some justification for the absence of a legitimate flavor that is noticeable. If you eat venison, you know that you're eating venison. You pick up cooked venison, if you're a fucking human person who fucking is not retarded, you know venison. You could pick it up and do a taste test and be like, that's venison. That's how it fucking works. That's beef. That's pork. That's chicken. That, and then there's a couple of, like, veal is a little different, and there's subtleties, but you can pretty much identify meats. Okay? If you pair together the fact that she had to add bacon to the meatloaf, and that he made it a fucking point to mention that the hamburgers were waterlogged, and then the subsequent research that I did to find out, like, who has ever tasted human meat, and I came across one guy who said it's fucking flavorless, or it tastes like veal, or like it's not a noticeable flavor. And then of course, if you add to that your tongue is made of human meat, you can start to put some things together. Your tongue tastes like human meat. What does your tongue taste like right now? And I'm not talking about blood. You drain the blood from meat when you eat it. There's a little bit left, but it's not. You're talking about the protein substance. Okay. Take all of that, and then add the fact that I saved the last bite of the hamburger after a subtle fucking comment that he made about the next time we eat fucking meat like this is going to be bear meat. And I was just, there's something in me that was like, I'm going to save this. There's something in me that's just like, is he telling me that this is... And I was like, no way, dude. And I saved it. And that was the day that shit went fucking insane. And I was chased through Lee Summit by fucking random cars that I'd never seen in my life, and arrested because I had absconded from probation and had gotten away with it, and my probation officer knew where I was and all of this stuff. Like, I was just avoiding police. It was a bench warrant avoiding police. It was not a fucking thing. That day it became a really fucking serious issue. I was hunted. It was no longer, you maybe perhaps randomly figure out the details on this guy, yada yada. It was hunted down and almost fucking disappeared. And what the stuff I got into today about lizard people, like living underground. There's a lot of cave systems in Missouri. And I'm just saying, I'm just saying. If you can take yourself out of it, is it? I mean, let's hypothesize. And again, I'm not saying I believe whatever. Not without evidence. There might be a way of fucking figuring some shit out, though. William Joseph Prettyman might be. And then again, like what? How many? Like, just capture him and study him. How many people are in positions of power that would be willing or able or willing to? Like, do you want to make first contact with the aliens? Do you? I don't know, dude. Put him in a fucking cage. According to some of these theories, it's like, according to some of these theories, it's like they live to be a certain age, and then they have to, like, somehow they're transdimensional, but you have to like, and that goes back into some of the Tool lyrics stuff. Like, what is I'll just end with this. What is, I'm doing all caps. What is the 5-day lyrics on Lateralis Tool? I'm not the only person who has gone into this. I'm not sure what you mean by Fab did, but it looks like garbled or misspelled phrase. I assume you're asking for the lyrics to... No. The final track on the Lateralis album. You're a fucking queer. You fucking dog shit. Eat my pussy. Eat my fucking pussy, bitch. And maybe disruptive behavior is the only fucking, like, what if the Wachowski the Wachowski Jews. Like, what if the Jews are the actual saviors or something? Like, instead of being the lizard people, they're like somehow like the intermediaries. Like, there's some of them who are, some Jews are like, the only way out is destruction, is to fucking, because the incubator that is our, let's say, terrarium that we live in, that keeps us docile, retarded, fucking barely conscious, and feeds us just garbage. It's docile. It's like breeding cattle, literally. What if the people who realize that this is a fucking terrarium, not, you know, a version of a prison, are like, the only way out is to stop all human behavior? Like, the Gnostics are right. Like, it's a recycling machine for human souls. Can I do? Is it gonna let me? Probably not. Oh, interesting. I've got the same BIOS setting today as I did yesterday, but yesterday it wouldn't allow me to use the page. I wonder why. I do wonder why. Oh yeah, I can't remember. It's like, it's the voice of God. Tool, last track. Okay, FAAIP. How do you pronounce that? Ultimate Guitar, the bizarre story behind Tool's track 5 which is if you say, are there certain pronunciations? Is that why nigger is such a fucking banned word? Like, what if there's incantations that like are like trained into their head, like sounds that they can't? Nigger. Like, what if the lizard people can't stand hearing those syllables, and that's why? I'm just saying, I don't believe any of this shit. It's fun to think about things. The Fapdeoid is one of the most obscure songs in the Tool catalog, but it has a pretty interesting backstory that we're going to cover here in this article. The song is often overshadowed by the other more popular songs on the Lateralis record. Nevertheless, it holds a special place among Tool fans who are also interested, or at least entertained, by conspiracy theories involving aliens and Area 51. Art Bell. The song, there's a picture of Art Bell. The song contains a recording of a phone call from 1997 episode of Coast to Coast AM, which is a late night radio talk show hosted by Art Bell from the show's inception in 1988 until 2003, and is now hosted by George Norrie. And there's this chick on there now who does like song stuff. She's an interesting chap. It's still a lot of the same themes. Coast to Coast AM is still a thing. And you can listen on the Fox fucking radio here in Austin. You can listen to Art Bell Somewhere in Time, which is a nice treat. The show covers a variety of topics, but typically centers around conspiracy theories and the paranormal. The call heard on the Tool record took place on September 11th, 1997. Interesting. Back then, calls weren't really screened. at least not very well. The caller, known as Frantic Man on some forums, claimed to be an ex-Area 51 employee. As the call wore on, the Frantic Man kept becoming more and more upset, audibly crying. He claimed to be a man on the run across the country, and that, quote-unquote, they would be, quote-unquote, triangulating the call very soon. Picture of aliens holding up a tool sign. Then, suddenly and unexpectedly, in the middle of the man's rantings, the show temporarily went off the air because of a satellite failure. This caused Art Bell's audience to lose their minds. Did the government shut it down? Did aliens knock out the satellite? I'm not an expert on radio stations or how they function, but what I'm told is that what happened is the satellite uplink transmitter had failed without explanation. I'm also told that this is certainly something that does happen, but it's not something that happens with a lot of regularity. Anyways, the backup system quickly kicked in and the show went back on the air, but the caller was gone. The reason for this mysterious and very coincidental outage has never been fully explained. Here is a transcription of the recording as it appears in the song, the final track on the Lateralis Tool album, which is their magnum opus. I don't have a whole lot of time. Okay, I'm a former employee of Area 51. I was let go on medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Damn, I don't know where to start there. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon. Okay, what we're thinking of as aliens, they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program they made contact with. They're not what they claim to be. They've infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the government knows about them. And there's a lot of safe areas in the world they could begin moving the population to. They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable. And then the song, it's like a zip. You should listen to it. It's interesting because they add all this instrumental drama to it. The same gentleman who made the frantic call allegedly called back on April 28, 1998, calling himself Brian, saying that the original call was a ruse, just him having a bit of fun. However, the second caller's voice, tone, and mannerisms have caused many believers to question whether or not this was the same person. But the original call had already weaved itself into alien conspiracy lore, and much like other conspiracy theories, the admission that the call was fake and only led to further theorizing of disinformation. And this is how it works. Okay? The song's title translates to Voice of God in Enochian, a language invented by Edward Kelly in the 16th century. Kelly said this language had been revealed to him by angels. Okay. Now, the lizard people theories, I'm going to actually start getting into even more. Not because it's always been the trickster, the prankster, the devil has always been right there. Okay, it's right there, and it's I don't know, dude. I fucking, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Is William Joseph Prettyman a fucking lizard person? what about the people who like the? What about the associates? Jesse Waltz. How does it? The associate, like they got away with killing Joey. Was Joey a fucking? Did they eat you? Did you guys eat him or drink his blood? Did Joey? Did you eat Joey? I'm just. And if that's the whole fucking thing, like, and so like what is it? Do you show? Is the plan to have like a fake invasion, but all the aliens are already here, and then they can just come out like a fake UFO fucking thing to pretend? Do we start living with the lizard people? Is the demoralization thing just so we can normalize eating people? Like, can some of these theories that I fucking downloaded today, I'm gonna listen to again. But one of them was talking about like so there's a difference between wild humans and humans that are bred, like specifically bred in captivity, the way that we would, like as scientists would, to save the panda population or whatever, try to get them to fuck and then release them back into the wild. There's a difference between a human in captivity that acts according to the captivity, the rules of captivity, and then a wild human to separate out. And I guess out of all my fucking bloodline, I'm the only wild human. I think my cousin Amanda is also. I don't. And if it's all true, and they can just reveal themselves again, Gnostic anarchy. You know, like, I'm gonna turn this off and just go to sleep. Like, wake up tomorrow like, that was fun. Why was I fucking hunted down after telling somebody over the phone that I kept a piece of meat that I was going to get tested to see if it was human meat? Dudes, fucking, I don't know, man.